level of the Ghana Armed Forces. And also to let you know that some tasks may not be that simple, but with constant training, you can easily overcome them.
Particularly in Tamale, we saw, and that picture went viral after the 6th of March 2019 when we saw that military person jump through a ring of fire without scratching himself. That picture went viral after the 6th of March on that day.
Then I think you should stand by for more of such pictures.
Okay, so these are the physical trainers.
Yes, so that is their leader. He just come to ask permission for them to commence. And so that is the prone lying and thigh support. So those on the chairs have thigh support and those in front have prone lying. And then
wow.
We have shoot through and split to sit. That was there a while ago. And that was the backward roll and forward roll out of chair act. So that is backward roll forward out of the chair, and then forehead spring and backward roll to sit. It looks very simple, but it's not that simple.
Can imagine the hours of rehearsal that had to go into doing this, because as an individual you may be able to do it alone, but to do it together with others and in unison would demand a lot of practice and rehearsal. I just saw what happened there.
Yes.
And it's almost like marching while still engaging in some form of exercise.
Yes.
And they are doing it to precision and timing.
Yes, back band lift and handspring in pairs. That's what we are watching now. Bend back lifts and handspring in pairs.
So these are the personnel,
the physical training instructors
who train
the military personnel.
The military personnel.
Yes, and they are military personnel themselves.
Commander, did you go through this?
Oh yes, every military personnel goes through.
You did this?
I may not know. I didn't necessarily do it because I am not a PTI. So the PT course is also a core.
And the crowd went ecstatic over this one.
Because it's pretty.
Yes,
very nice.
It was very nice. But if there was a mistake there, you can imagine the kind of pain it would have caused the receiver of that mistake.
Exactly.
And so, and this is where the warning comes in. Do not try this at home. You need to be an expert to be able to try some of these stunts that the military personnel here are displaying. The president obviously
the president's excited
with what he's seen. He's the commander-in-chief
of
the Ghana Armed Forces. If this is what it takes to join the military, no wonder I'm a journalist. I could never have joined the military.
Oh, you can with determination. I believe everything in life is about determination. And most of us go without having any idea, but with determination, one can sail through. But it's difficult, I must admit. So that's one phase of the display. And now we are having the individual displays. So that's a freestyle display by the physical instructors. And the aim is to test their ability and agility.
And the response from the crowd is... So at this level, you as a physical trainer on this stage, you come and do whatever you feel like doing?
But they've rehearsed, so you know which one you are doing and which the other person is doing. So that we can have a variety of them.
Wow. Do not try this at home. You will feel dizzy. I'm already feeling dizzy on his behalf. I feel dizzy on his behalf, really. That was amazing. That was amazing. Again, shots from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi, filled to capacity stadium. Ghanaians are enthusiastic about Ghana. The people of Kumasi are enthusiastic about Ghana, and they're excited that this honor has been done them. The national parade has been brought to their doorsteps, and currently the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces on display, showing us what stuff they are made of. And if you have ideas of joining the military, perhaps these are some exercises you may be psyching yourself up for.
Exactly. You may have to take part in some of these, especially if you're a physical training instructor. If you join the physical training instructors, then you would have to necessarily take part. The next is horse work. And I'll leave the description to you.
Horse work.
Horsework.
Okay, so when you said horsework, I was looking out for where the horses were. But I'm not seeing horses. I'm seeing men jump over
What looks like a horse.
What looks like a horse. Yes. And so this is what to ensure that if you meet any obstacle, you will be able to scale over.
Cross it easily. Yeah. So that is face vault on and off. Then we have the through vault and astride vault.
Right. That was beautiful. Yes, it's all part of it. Of course, Asantino 82, Otumfo 82, the second, also admiring the scenes here. He must be a very proud king at the moment. He's here admiring and observing events as they unfold. The scenes here are so beautiful. The cameras will not be able to bring every thing to you in your homes, but we'll try to give you as much as we can. This is still the armed forces, the Ghana Armed Forces, displaying some skills. These are physical trainers, and Commander Veronica Ahen, who is here in commentary position with me, has been warning us that we should not try this at home. This is for experts. If you are not one, do not try it. You may end up hurting yourself. Selikam, did you ever dream of engaging in any of these exercises?
Absolutely not. It appears that even this one was well rehearsed over and over again. It takes a lot of effort and skill to have to get to this point of perfection.
Wow.
This is just admirable, and you can just hear the crowd appreciate the display, the physical display.
Of course, the Ghana Armed Forces, noted as one of the best around the world on many UN peacekeeping missions. The reports have indicated that the Ghana Armed Forces have been very professional and meticulous at whatever it is they do. Yes.
And that is the dive and roll through the loop. Dive and roll through the loop.
Oh. So, and two persons come almost at the same time, and
the loop, sorry.
Oh,
one creates a loop, and the other one dives through it.
And here again, with the least mistake, there could be a crash of heads.
Exactly.
So
it's done with training.
Training.
And let me add that Lieutenant Gershon Adase and his able safety supervisors, Chief Petty Officer Class 1, Aqua Bernard, Staff Sergeant Oklu Roland Moses, and Petty Officer Class 1 Seshi Sylvester, Flight Sergeant Amponsa Jeffrey, and Staff Sergeant Adato Courage worked tirelessly to bring this personnel to this level. Even though they are physical training instructor, they still needed to train, train, and train.
This is GBC's coverage of the 63rd Independence Parade and the first national parade ever to be held in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. The first was in the northern regional capital of Tamale. And here in Kumasi, we're seeing beautiful scenes, beautiful sounds, beautiful people, beautiful cultures, diversity of cultures meeting at one spot. And that spot is here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So the loop and dive and loop?
Dive and roll through the loop. But this one is somersault through the loop. So he has created the loop by you somersault over him.
Oh, wow.
So that's a higher jump.
Yes,
That's a higher jump.
one.
And again, with the least of mistakes, we could have trouble in our hands. And so
Exactly.
what it means again is that don't try this at home. It's for the experts. And this is just an indication of how physically fit the men of the Ghana Armed Forces are. And I'm beginning to
That's
get
your
memories of
Yes.
Tamale coming back. I saw something similar, and then it began to blaze with fire, and we had men and personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces jump. Okay, so we go. There we go again. You can. And the crowd is responding to this again. The crowd went ecstatic over this one. Anytime someone jumps through it successfully, because if you fail to do so, you will not go back home the same.
You can't afford to touch any of the edges.
You cannot.
But this will also be very hot.
Yes, it is fire, so it's hot.
Oh dear.
So again, I'm always curious about some of these things. So, in practicality, what will this do for us as a people or as an army? What's this supposed to mean?
That if you have a mission to accomplish and you need to overcome this, then you have to find a way of overcoming it. You don't have to allow fire to be an obstacle. You don't have to allow rain to be an obstacle. In fact, nothing must be an
Height,
obstacle.
we've seen, should not be an
obstacle.
obstacle because they're jumping at a high altitude, if you like. But again, you have to be so precise that you have to go through fire to be able to get
Achieve
to your
task.
Wow. And so there we had
jumping over it.
He tried to jump over it, but indeed, okay, so this is jumping over it.
Yes, we are.
The first was jumping
Through it.
Now it's jumping over it actually. Okay, and
that's he jumped paying compliments.
What does that mean?
He was saluting when he jumped through the ring. Oh, you didn't see it. You missed
okay,
it.
that was very fast. Paying compliments. He was
Yes,
saluting.
he was saluting,
whilst
yes.
jumping at the same time.
Exactly.
And he jumps through.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yes.
And the president is rising to show his appreciation.
So the leader is going to ask permission again for them to march off. Yes, and their motto is strong mind, strong body.
Strong mind,
Strong mind, strong
Yeah.
body.
Yes.
Of course, you need a strong mind to be able to withstand some of the very torturous experiences, and then you need a strong body to be able to withstand the very physically demanding tax that the Ghana Armed Forces have to go through in order to protect our territorial integrity, but also to participate at the UN level and the AU level to ensure that Ghana remains an active member of the UN and also an active member of the AU and other international bodies such as the ECOWAS and so on. And so it's instructive that we are aware that our men and women in uniform are always physically and mentally stable and alert at all times to protect our interest. And that was the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces. So now everything is in the hands of the security agencies at this point in time. We've seen the horsework. What next?
We have a little surprise, and I'll start speaking only when they start it.
Oh, so you have a surprise for who? For the audience, for the president?
For our viewers.
So it's a little surprise.
Yes.
And
this is a short scenario as to how, if there's a need to rescue somebody, like a very important personality has been kidnapped, and then a special force is inserted to go and then rescue the person. Before such people get onto the field, we'll have security intelligence giving us an idea as to the location, and then in real life scenario, the aircraft would have dropped the persons far away, and then they'll find their own means to the location. So we are assuming that they have found their location, and some personnel will rappel and others will do fast roping. There are two types of getting down from the aircraft to rescue that person who has been kidnapped. But for the sake of time, I'm sure they are going to give an abridged version, so you will not see all the nitty-gritty.
So now this chopper is assumed to have arrived at the spot where the person is being held hostage, so to speak.
This particular one will have to be happening a bit far from the location.
Because it will draw attention.
It will draw attention.
So it will be far from the location.
Yes.
And then the personnel would have to find a way of
walking down here. Exactly.
Okay. So this is where we are now.
Yes. So this is rappelling. What you are seeing now, that form of dropping is called rappelling. And it's normally dropped off the location for the personnel to walk a distance or drive, whichever means is available, to the site of the operation. And because I'm privy to it, let me add that the first person coming out is a female.
Oh,
yes,
we have, well, it's clear, we can see it's a female, and she's done it so effortlessly. She's landed very well. So they will from here then join, because we saw two men with a motorbike like.
It's more than two, it's because of the camera.
Okay. They
have actually secured the whole place. So they have them around virtually the whole stadium.
So this is rappelling from the chopper to the location. Yes. Not the direct location, but a location a bit far away, so that you do not draw the attention of the enemy before you go in for the rescue. Otherwise, then the enemy would devise defensive mechanisms against you.
Exactly.
Okay. So it is assumed that here at this point, the enemy doesn't know that any action is being taken.
No. And even if it happens that they have to drop the enemy at the exact location, okay, should I be giving out so much information? I think I'll keep it to myself. So
we'll see the surprise.
What we have now.
Yeah, we'll have the surprise here. But from here, really, I'm just being curious. So then what next? They will now walk. There's an advanced team, and we are not seeing communication between the advanced team and those rappelling from the chopper at the moment. How they communicate with each other?
I believe, normally this is planned way back in our bases. That maybe at so and so time this group will go so and so time you go, and the rappelling team would have to rappel onto the ground and secure the ground before those coming to do the actual rescue would come. So another team will come. But I'm sure for the sake of time, we might not show everything. And the fact that we see them rappelling so easily doesn't make it easy at all. It can be very, very intimidating. Even the aircraft alone, the air blowing around it, can create a lot of challenge. So this required training. And this person is coming out with a dog. This is a trained dog for such exercises or operations.
And the dog is aware of this. So the
yes, the dog
has trained, and this is not the first time the dog is going through such an exercise.
No, this is not the first time.
Okay. And the dog is trained to know all the other persons,
exactly.
All the other men and women in the battalion.
No, not necessarily. Yes. But the dog trainer gives it instructions and it obeys.
Right.
No, dogs are very sensitive pets. If only you have time and you train them, you can use them for so many things. And these are specially trained military dogs for operations.
We've seen quite a few since we arrived at the venue yesterday. Very strong looking dogs with huge muscles, with the ability to push down a man if you're not careful. We've seen a few of them here, and it's exciting to know that the Ghana Armed Forces is that well prepared in terms of yes.
So in reality, this team will go and help those on the ground to secure wherever. So this team will drop off and walk to close to the location of the incident and secure the place and be ready to fire back or return fire if the enemy should try to fire on them. Sometimes, or maybe when the person is running off, the dog can be directed to go and then arrest it. Yeah. This is a fast roping. This one, they do it much faster than the rappelling. And this one normally is closer to the site. So before this team comes, the rappelling team should have been in position. You see, they are so quick. And that's the commanding officer of this of the unit. It's thicker. But like I said, for the sake of time, a lot of things have been
left out.
Yes. Because there will be the need to exchange fire and all that. It will not be done. So please, those of you who are expecting it, sorry.
There will not be exchange of gunfire.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so they have rappelled from the chopper, and then the second one,
the fast roping.
The fast roping.
Yes, they have also come down, and they are coming to actually rescue the person who has been kidnapped.
Right. This is actually the first time we are seeing this as part of the parade at any Independence Day. This is an innovation, and it is new. It's novel and exciting to watch. For those of us who rarely come close to military and their actions, this presents us with a very exciting picture.
Okay, so this is the Special Forces of the Ghana Armed Forces. We have personnel from the Ghana Army, and we also have personnel from the Ghana Navy. The Navy Special Forces is known as the Special Boat Squadron. And the members of the rappelling team, the first crew, were Flight Lieutenant Dominic Ajokache, Flight Lieutenant Daniel Foley, Flight Lieutenant Samuel Nyako Mensah, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Opoku Buachi, and Warrant Officer Class 1 Mafo Osei Halifax, as well as Warrant Officer Class 1 Richard Mensah. And those who came through the pilot for the fast roping are Squadron Leader Evans Kwabna Opoku, Squadron Leader Benjamin Ochre, and Flight Lieutenant Abdul Nasser Salia, with Sergeant Tebi Kenneth and Sergeant Kina Stephen and Corporal Aticho Charles. And so the dog has helped them to arrest whoever is fomenting the trouble. So they just to inform the public that if there's something that needs special forces to go and undertake the operation, they would go and do it. So now they are searching the criminal to be sure he has nothing on him.
The crowd of people here at the Baba Yara Stadium observing as the Ghana Armed Forces, I should say, show us what stuff they're made of and how prepared they are to protect the territorial integrity of the Republic of Ghana. We've come a long way, 63 years of independence, 63 years of so much to celebrate and so much to look forward to. The president now taking his seat. So the special forces are now marching off. Assignment has